to a fairly quick but informative video. Basically today I picked out 5 low-key gems. So these are films that aren't spoken about very often to my knowledge. They're a little bit more under the radar, so we'll call this 5 horror movies that are slightly under the radar and a little bit more obscure than others. So we'll start with number 5, Necronomicon. Based on it's an H.P. Lovecraft adaptation. It's got Jeffrey Combs in there. It's an anthology. It's great. This is the Wicked Vision release from Germany. Lovely edition. You know, it's got some lovely, fantastic artwork on there. Artware. Sorry about that. Why I said that, I don't know. Yeah, sort of. It reminds you very much of, like, you know, Stuart Gordon did a few H.P. Lovecraft adaptations. Reanimator being one of them, and Dreams in the Witch House for Masters of Horror. But this is Brian Usner, who is sort of connected to Stuart Gordon. Well, he did effects work for him. It's got Jeffrey Combs in there. He's in the wraparound story. Have you seen Necronomicon? I thought it was pretty damn good. I need to give it another go because I haven't seen it for a couple of years, but I really found the segments interesting. This is a German release that has English audio, so all the writing's in German, but the Blu-ray itself plays in English, as you can see there, and it's a fantastic package from Wicked Vision. I'll try and open it up. Yeah, let's get it. Nice disc art. There we go. You can flip it. It does have the certificate. In the UK, we have the annoying certificates that you can't get rid of, basically, unless it has a slip cover that doesn't have it on there, or an outer box. But with German releases, they tend to have the artwork with the certificate, and then you can flip it for the same decent artwork but without the certification. That's great. So number 5, under the radar a little bit, Necronomicon. Not the most obscure movie, but it's not talked about very often. Pop that one up there. See what I've got next. I think I can remember what I picked out next. Found footage movie, Grave Encounters. Not going to be to everybody's liking, as I know a few people are not too keen on the found footage genre because it was oversaturated in the late 2000s with when Paranormal Activity gained traction. There was a lot coming out. That was a good one, but you know, some of the others, it gained, you know, there's some duds out there. But Grave Encounters is pretty scary. You know, it's got an interesting plot. It's about these ghost hunters who go to an abandoned asylum, and strange going-ons begin to occur, and they're trapped in there. It's got some good scary moments. This is the Blu-ray, nonetheless, of Grave Encounters. It does have a sequel that isn't too bad. So yeah, sort of a little under the radar, Grave Encounters. Do quite enjoy that one. Next one, Darling. Again, not seen it for a while. This is another German release, so it does have the German font on there, but English audio. You could say it's a little likened to, I mean, on the back, I can't read German, but I can pick the get the gist of it, and they sort of compare it to like Rosemary's Baby a little bit, you know, with the tone, although it's nothing to do with like a Satan's offspring or a woman being impregnated by Satan. It's directed by Mickey Keaton, who also did Carnage Park, and he's done some others. I can't quite remember the names of them. But that's Darling, anyway, about a young woman who basically dives into her murderous side. I think it's quite under the radar, and it's a pretty interesting one. Black and white as well. Very short, from what I can remember. Yeah, 78 minutes, so just under 80 minutes. It's short. Pretty sweet for a horror film. Yeah, I like Darling. A little bit under the radar. That was my number 3. Number 2 is Found. This one's very interesting. Has some great undertones. It's about 2 brothers. The older brother's basically a psychopath and a racist who goes around killing different people. Keeps their decapitated heads in a bowling bag. His brother knows he's killing. The parents aren't aware of it. Yeah, it's really cool. It's about the younger sibling's journey as well. He's discovering things, and, you know, has he got a murderous side? Yeah, and this is a great edition on Blu-ray. It's a US edition. I believe it's Region A. Actually, it's Region 3, but it's a US edition. It's got the Killer from Headless on the back, because there is another movie called Headless, which is also really authentic and fantastic, sort of grimy horror film that's made to look like it was from the 70s. It's also set in the 70s. Not this movie Found, but the movie Headless from the same I believe it's the same director. Anyway, we've found they watch parts of Headless in Found. So Headless is like a film that a spin-off. It's like the film from the film. It's a film within the film. So the characters in this film watch gory scenes from Headless. It does show you some bits, and then they made a Headless film and put scenes from that the guys in this watched into the beginning of the Headless film. But it's great, nice addition. There you go. Do check Headless out. I might talk about that sometime on the channel. I would like to rewatch it. Let's open her up. Sorry about the dodgy camera work. That's the disc. It's got alternative artwork underneath. Yeah, Found. Really nice edition. That's number 2 on my sort of fairly obscure, under the radar horrors that I think need to be spoken about a little bit more. You know, everyone's got their own opinion, but I think they're cool. And last, but definitely not least, is Lake Nowhere. This is a limited edition set. It's not a set, actually. It's a set of discs. It's got 2 discs. It's got the DVD as well. But this is great. This is really authentic. It's made to look like a low-budget 80s slasher. I believe it's from 2014. It's about this group of friends that go to stay around Lake Nowhere in the middle of the woods in a cabin. And it's got this most quite, what's a good word? Very peculiar killer. There's a kill from the film. Won't give too much away. You can read that if you like. Pause it and read that. It's a lovely edition though. Quite a rare one. I was happy to get this. The film's very short. It clocks in at 51 minutes. So it's just under an hour. 9 minutes under an hour. But it's straight to the point. It's great. It's authentic. The acting's not the best, but it's not meant to be. It's made to be like a bad slasher. But it's from 2014, I believe. Might be slightly off on the release date. But yeah. Lake Nowhere, absolutely fantastic, really authentic. If you want sort of like a low budget slasher that looks like a film from the 80s, give Lake Nowhere a go, because it really does pass up quite well. And also they, you know, it's very authentic. They have like a couple of fake trailers on the beginning, so you get to watch some you know, some daft, like silly fake trailers for other films that actually don't exist. Anyway, that's Lake Nowhere. That's 5 obscure horror films that I think should be spoken about a little bit more. I'll run through them again very quickly. Necronomicon, Grave Encounters, Darling, The Brilliant Found, and my top pick in this little ranking, Lake Nowhere. Yep, they're quite obscure movies. Grave Encounters was quite a cheap pickup. I didn't pay a lot for that. Grave Encounters, they're not the most obscure, but people will have seen them, especially Necronomicon and Grave Encounters. The other 3, I'd say, are a little bit more obscure, but this is sort of 5 under-the-radar horror movies that don't get spoken about too much or don't get too much exposure. Any comments, please pop them in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to read them when I get a chance and reply to them, get a little conversation going maybe about these movies if you've seen them, if you're interested. If you're not, that's cool too, of course. Okay, bye-bye.